Be good. Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome back. Hope y'all are doing well. Real Madrid versus AC Milan. I was skeptical. I didn't think this game was actually a real game. I thought it was a game that was played in the past, an old game, but it turned out to be a legitimate game, an official game. And it was a really good game. It was a really, really good game, not only because of the scoreboard, the 3-2, but both teams got to display their whole squad pretty much. Second half, AC Milan made a 10-man substitution, as did Real Madrid during the course of the game. Probably most of it happened during the interval at the end of the first half. And I was mostly interested in seeing Jude Bellingham play. I've watched him play in Dortmund, and I was curious to see if or how he would transition onto Real Madrid, if he would be able to fit in, how well would he play. Yes, it's only one match, and there's so many more games to be able to really define what kind of player he is or what kind of player he can be for Real Madrid. But I expected him to play the way he played, and I thought he played really well. I don't think he thought he played really well, because when they took him out, he seemed like he was a little bit dissatisfied. He wasn't too happy. Looks like he wanted to score, maybe, or maybe the opportunities that he provided for his teammates should have gone in, and I think he's right. Especially the one that he flicked back for Militao. And what a great player. What a great player. It made me, at the beginning when I heard that he was going to Real Madrid, I was against it, because I thought he was more of a Liverpool type of player. But because I'm thinking about Modric is still there, Valverde is there, Tchouameni's there. It just seemed like overkill. Why add another central midfielder there? But having seen the game, I realized that he is crucial. They needed a player like him, just like they need someone up in the front as well. Mbappe. That's another one that I knew there's no way around it. He's going to go to Real Madrid, like it or not, whether he takes that deal from Al Hilal. But he's gonna eventually. We are gonna eventually see him in Real Madrid. Both of these players do belong, and they should go to Real Madrid. I have no quarrels with that. I have no questions now that they should. Again, it's a preseason friendly, so there are many more games. But I thought Bellingham did a really good job, especially when he was on the ball. He's one of those players that you can actually use smart on the ball. I think that term is thrown a lot. For instance, when they say that about Bukayo Saka, I don't think he's smart on the ball. I think he's just good on the ball, but he's not smart on the ball or just a smart player. Jude Bellingham is. He knows how to pick the passes. He knows how to look for the spaces, the empty spaces. He knows how to position himself well. And then, on the ball, in terms of dribbling, because he doesn't do anything fancy, it's just his power and long stride. More than speed, it's just his long stride and power. He just was able to get past 2 or 3 players, not with relative ease, but was able to get past his 2-3 markers, give it to a teammate of his without it being too sloppy of a pass. I thought he had a really good game. The other one that I was curious in watching was Christian Pulisic. I think he's a good fit for Milan, but I think I think he's limited. Where I don't think Christian Pulisic is the kind of player that's going to give you 90%, not even 90% every single match. I don't think he has that consistency. I think he's a player that ebbs and flows. He's going to have some games where he's going to be really good and some where he's not going to have really good. I just hope he maintains that consistency throughout the season, because he is, I think, also a crucial player that at times could help out the team. Definitely, I think he is. And last night I noticed that we're at the beginning of the game. Again, it's just one game. It's just a friendly. I get it, but he was doing well at the beginning, and then towards the end he was just missing the ball. He tripped over the ball. He was it seemed like he was a little bit too high strung when he got the ball, and just this was the whole team in general for AC Milan. Anytime they were transitioning and they were going on a counterattack, him and Loftus-Cheek were having a difficult time getting past or understanding each other, how to get past the backline, Real Madrid's backline. Some of the decisions that Christian Pulisic was making when he would go back and the defender that was marking him would go even further back, allowing him the whole space to keep going forward. And by then, obviously, there was another Real Madrid player that was marking him. But that's the whole point. You were trying to take a one-on-one, so you have the one-on-one with somebody else instead of the old marker. He pretty much just gave you open space to go that way, go vertically, go upwards. And he would just turn back and pass the ball. Or just some of his dribbling, it wasn't successful. He ended up getting dispossessed or losing the ball or making a bad pass. And the same thing for Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek, I thought, had a really good game. strong, more or less the same qualities that I was describing that Jude Bellingham has. And there were times also towards the end that he just couldn't get past the backline, Real Madrid's backline. That to me showed that they do need, I know they're not playing with their starters, but they do need a Bilal to come in or a Giroud. Besides that, I thought Loftus-Cheek and Pulisic had a decent game. It was really good seeing them play, and I think they're going to be important players for AC Milan. As far as the goals, yeah, errors from Mendy, from Iglesias. They need to work on that. Nobody was covering, what's his name, Tomori from the corner kick that Pulisic centered. And, I mean, that was like within feet from the goal line, and nobody was marking Tomori. The one that Mendy gave away. I mean, that was a stunner. That was a stunner from I've never seen this kid play, Luca Romero. Yeah, what a strike. What a strike. And that's awesome about these like young players like that you know, they know, they have instructions of what to do on the ball and what not to do on the field. But I love the roguish just nature of a player like that. Just decided to strike it from a long distance outside the box. Really, really awesome strike. To me, that was the goal of the game. Interesting player. Also, Luca Romero. Never seen him play. Young, obviously 18, and you know, made some errors here and there. His work ethic. I mean, he was flying everywhere. He was just going after every single ball. That was nice to see from such a young player. So I'm expecting big things from him in the coming. I hope they don't loan him. I hope they don't trade him. I hope they actually give him, you know, the chance that sometimes I don't get how they give players. I completely forgot about Lucas Vasquez from Real Madrid. That's a prime example of someone that gets 5 years on the team where he should have been loaned out a long time ago. I know he was loaned out in the beginning when he first started, or I think right before he started to play for the first team, to Espanyol. But that's a player that needed to be loaned out or sold a long time ago. And obviously, if you're going to play under, you know, the likes of Benzema, Cristiano Ronaldo, what do you expect? It's going to rub off. Something's going to rub off on you. You're going to learn something. And I mean, I thought he had an amazing game. This is the first time I'm saying it. Lucas Vasquez had a phenomenal game. Just amazing. But I don't get how a team like Real Madrid, I guess because he's Spanish and that's the best that they have, that they needed to just keep him there, a quota that they have to fill perhaps. It just doesn't make any sense to have someone for 5 years plus to be able to become a good player. The same thing, what I call the Vinicius effect. The same thing. It took a couple of years. Rodrigo's another one. Rodrigo's, I mean, he got tremendously better from when he first arrived to Real Madrid, but it's taking years. So I hope a lot of players, because there's other teams. I remember Hesse from Real Madrid that went to PSG. Some of these players don't have months. Wijnaldum also. What's his name? Renato Sanchez, I think, the Portuguese that used to play for Bayern Munich, or barely played, I think, for Bayern Munich, and then is now in PSG. He's still in PSG, and they just, you know, some of these players don't have but months, and they end up getting traded, they end up getting sold. They don't get that opportunity. And you have Lucas Vasquez, you have Rodrigo, you have Vinicius, that they get years. Marcelo, dear God, Marcelo had like how many years to become a decent enough or world class, whatever you want to call him. Like, a lot of people swear that he's like that he was the reincarnation of Roberto Carlos, which at all completely wrong about that. But yeah, Valverde had a man of the match, well deserved. I thought he had an amazing match. And the second goal, was it the second goal? I think it was the second goal. The strike from outside the box. It wasn't even that good of a kick. Let's be honest. He had better shots before, and I mean, everybody knows his shot quality. It wasn't the best shot in the world. That was the goalkeeper's fault, but the skip, that little bounce, did help him out. That was what made the ball go in my opinion. The goalkeeper, yes, he should have done better, despite the little skip and the bounce. He should have done a lot better. But that strike from long distance, and then the screw up, Tomori. Intercepting Valverde, intercepting the ball, and then just placing it in the first post. I mean, there was so many players. I have an issue with the Belgians, those two Belgian players. I've seen them play in the Champions League, and they need to get rid of those players. Quite simply, they need to get rid of those players. One of them is supposedly a striker, the Catalare or whatever, and they just lack quality. That's it. They just lack quality. They're not. I think they're a hindrance, if anything. When they go in, they don't change the game. Salamakers, I think that's his name. Salamakers, he does make a slight difference when he goes in, but he's also a player that comes in and loses the ball and doesn't do much, especially Catalare. The few times that I've seen him play, maybe it's been already 4 or 5 games that I've seen him play, and he doesn't really provide anything for AC Milan. Leao, just amazing pace. That's it for Leao. That one step over that he got on what's his name, on Carvajal, where he did it like, I don't know, several feet back or several yards back, and then ended up beating him several yards forward. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for today. Thank you so much, guys, again for watching. Stay tuned for future videos, of course, as always, and I'll see you in the next game. Cheers.